What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I wanted to talk about all of the new weapons that are in Black Ops 3. First, I'm going to share each one of them, what they are and everything, just for those of you guys that are living under a rock and don't know what they are. I'll be talking all about that. Then I want to talk a little bit about my thoughts on these new guns and how they are earned. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so first up, let's cover the melee weapons, the new ones. We have the Fury Song, which is first, and this is the one that you're seeing in the gameplay in the background. This is the only one of the new weapons that I have so far, and it is statistically identical to the combat knife as far as I can tell so far. It looks cool, but it's really just a cosmetic thing. Same thing goes with the next one, which is the Iron Gem. It's just a crowbar. It's exactly the same as the wrench or the combat knife or the Fury Song. It's all the same. It sounds different, it looks different, and it's pretty cool. Now let's get into the new guns. We have the Marshall 16, which is a pistol, it's a secondary, and it's actually a double-barreled shotgun pistol. And it looks like you have to fire both of the barrels at the same time, like it fires both shots at the same time. I have not seen this in game yet, I have not used this yet, I have seen gameplays of it, and it does seem to be pretty balanced for core game modes at least, because it does have a one-shot kill range, but that one-shot kill range is very minimal. Like much shorter than any of the other shotguns in the game. So in that case, I think it is decently balanced, especially because the reload time also is pretty high. So if you miss your first shot, you're pretty much dead. But that's the Marshall 16. Next, we have the MX Garand, and this is actually a brand new assault rifle. It's a semi-automatic assault rifle modeled after the M1 Garand. And it's an 8-round capacity, it's semi-auto. The rate of fire seems to be similar to the Shiva, maybe a little bit faster than the Shiva. I have picked this up once or twice, and I've used it a little bit, and it does seem to be not quite as good as the Shiva in a sense. So I guess that's a bonus, but at the same time, it is still a brand new gun with brand new characteristics. One thing is you can't actually reload this gun until it's completely empty. Like you have to actually empty the clip before you reload it, which is another balancing factor that makes it so it's really not quite as good as the Shiva in my mind. It's just something that looks cool and it's brand new. And finally, we have the NX Shadowclaw, and this is a semi-automatic crossbow. It has 6 bolts that you can fire semi-automatically. Looks like you can fire it pretty quickly as well. And the trajectory, this was explained by Hutch. The trajectory is similar to like the ballistic knife from Black Ops 2. I haven't seen this one in game yet, haven't picked it up yet. I've seen plenty of gameplay with it. And this one actually looks like it's pretty good for like a special weapon. So there you have it. Those are all the new guns. Now I want to share my thoughts on this new system of how the guns are earned. I guess it's kind of a returning system from Advanced Warfare. These weapons can only be earned through supply drops, through the black market. And I am very disappointed in this system. I'm very frustrated with this system. I was really hoping Treyarch wouldn't go this route. It might be that they're being forced by Activision. It's all speculation and stuff to do this. But in either case, I am very disappointed to see this system return. Don't get me wrong. For purely cosmetic items, I love the black market. I think that's great. So for the Fury Song and the Iron Gem, I have no problem with them being added to the game. It's the same thing as the wrench or the brass knuckles or the butterfly knife. It creates those highly sought after sort of items that are purely cosmetic. They have no impact on anyone in game because they're the same as the combat knife. The thing I'm frustrated with is the new weapons. So the Marshall 16, the MX Garand, and the NX Shadowclaw. These are brand new guns with brand new characteristics, and they aren't available to everyone. You have to actually get them through supply drops, whether that be buying supply drops, or whether that is earning tons and tons of crypto keys and maybe being able to get it. It's a very frustrating system that seems like they're trying to hide behind the whole pay-to-win idea, because you can't really call it pay-to-win because you can't directly buy the guns. What you're doing is you're gambling, hoping you'll get the gun, and technically everybody in the game has an opportunity to gamble as well without spending money. But if you spend money, then you improve your odds. So it feels like this system is just designed to hide behind that paywall, and I think this is a terrible way to handle things. Short run, yes, they're going to make a ton of money. I'm sure they've already made tons and tons of money on this. But long term, it's turning a lot of people away, and it's really frustrating the fan base. A lot of people had faith in Treyarch that this wouldn't happen, and it has happened now. And I really, really don't like this system. Now, one thing I wanted to address that a lot of people are saying, like, as a counter argument is at least these guns aren't, like, overpowered. They're not more powerful than the other guns. And while I can kind of see that argument, it's still frustrating because we don't have access to even try these out unless we get lucky or spend a ton of money and then hope we get lucky as well. It's not so much that these guns are more or less powerful, it's just that we simply don't have access to something that is brand new content within the game that feels completely different. And this is one of the things that really upset me with Advanced Warfare and really turned me off of that game. Even to this day, there are several guns in Advanced Warfare that I've never even picked up off the ground, I've never had an opportunity to use, and yet I played that game religiously. I played that game every single day for like several hours a day, and I still never got access to this content that is not cosmetic content. This is actual in-game content, and that really, really frustrates me. So what would I do different if I were them? Well, I realize they want to make money off of this system, and I'm totally fine with them making money off of that supply drop system as long as it remains purely cosmetic, like I said. I think a really cool way to handle this would be to make completely different looking and sounding guns that are statistically identical to the guns in the game already. So let's just say, for instance, we have the Kuda. Why not make like an MP5? It looks just like the old school MP5 from like Modern Warfare 2 or something. Give it identical statistics to the Kuda, but make it sound different, make the reload animation look different while still being the exact same, and call it something completely different and make it look really, really cool. If you did this, it would be a highly sought after gun, and I'm sure there are tons of people out there that would be willing to spend money on their crypto keys or whatever they're called, their COD points, in order to try and get these guns, because it's really cool. A lot of people did that for the wrench, a lot of people did that for the butterfly knife and everything. And I think even more people would do it if it were actual new guns, even if they were statistically identical to the current guns in the game. They could do this with pretty much every single gun in the game as well. So like the KN-44, for instance, they could bring back like an old school AK-47 from Black Ops 1. Bring back that AK-47. It could even be the exact same skin, just updated, and even call it like an AK-47 or whatever they want to call it. And just make sure it has statistically identical stats to the KN-44. A lot of people would love to buy supply drops to try and get that gun, and that's a totally fair system. If somebody else has an AK-47, I'd be like, cool, that's awesome, that looks great, I want to pick that up off the ground and use it, but at the same time, I'd realize it's not giving them any different experience than what I'm getting. They're not getting any new content that I don't have any access to. It's purely cosmetic. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of the new guns? What do you think of the sword and the crowbar? What do you think of all this? And what are your thoughts overall on how these weapons are earned? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.